Well, we're going to try this out for a live video. YouTube, I personally think they're better than Facebook's live video. It just seems to work better. It's more smooth. They've got a lot more experience. Today I just want to talk about, just briefly, about have a little bit of a scratchy throat, so sorry about that. But I want to talk about New Year's resolutions, how we make them every year. I quit making them because they're just, well, I didn't quit totally making them. I just changed the way I make them. You know, I used to make them and think that, just because I wanted something to happen, like, for instance, I'm going to lose weight. Okay, that's a great resolution. That's a good goal. That's all a resolution is, the goal. What's your goal for 2018? So the goal is to gain weight. Well, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen on its own. You have to actually make a plan of how you're going to actually accomplish that. You know, you need to maybe work out, change your diet, quit eating at night. My biology professor back in Iowa, he said that if you quit eating after 6 o'clock at night, other than apples and maybe popcorn, just something that has no calories to it, he said you'll lose 10 pounds in a month. And I tried it, and he was absolutely right. And then the next month I quit doing it. And I gained 10 pounds back within a couple months. But that's just an example. You know, New Year's resolutions. I heard one news reporter say during the celebrations, the New Year's celebration, that they just keep the same resolution every year, the same goals every year, and that's not totally bad. But at some point, you should be reaching your goals and scratching that off. So, you know, my goal is to have a job this year that's just not going to walk up to me and, knock on my door and ring the doorbell and say, hey, here's a job. I've actually got to apply, send out my resume, and that's my goal. I want to actually get healthier, eat better, and I've already changed my diet, changed my water intake, changed the type of food I'm eating, except for, this is going to sound contradictory, I got this for Christmas. So, see if you can see. Yeah, I got that for Christmas, a huge 1 pound chocolate bar, and it's almost gone. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Of course, that's one way to quit eating chocolate in Arizona, is just leaving the car and it melts. You can't really eat it unless you like that. But anyway, yeah, just make some, nothing wrong with making resolutions, but make sure you have a plan how you're going to achieve them. You want to be happier in 2018. How are you going to do that? Happiness is, number one, I think it's a waste of time to try and be happy. We have this kind of an abstract, idea. Happiness means something different for everyone. I think we should just, this is my opinion, we should focus on being content in life. Just whatever state we're in, just be as content as we possibly can be. If you don't have the job you want, okay, you can shoot for a better job, but at the same time, you can be content in the situation you're in. It could be worse. It really could be worse. You could be so sick you can't work. I remember reading a book years ago, just kind of stumbled upon it by accident. And this is when I was just starting my business in Arizona, cleaning business, and the people I was staying with at the time left a magazine on the coffee table. I think I was house sitting, actually, but they had a magazine on the coffee table, and the title was something to the effect of 100 Ways to be a Millionaire, or something like that. And the number one goal, I thought the number one goal would be to invest money or something like, or the one number one way to become a millionaire would be to invest money or have a high paying job or something like that. But the number one thing you need to be a millionaire is good health. And it makes total sense because if you can't work, you can't make money. If you can't make money, you're not going to be wealthy. That's pretty common sense type of stuff. But and it, unless if you're sick and you can't work, uh, maybe you could take some of your money if you're able, invest it here and there. It's hard. It's difficult. And that was about 1996 or 7, and maybe 97, 98, somewhere in there. But my business was just getting going, and I really didn't. I mean, I was so shocked by it. I guess when I was younger, I didn't even really pay attention to it. I just kind of blew it off and said, "Yeah, right. You got to work to make money, and then you're gonna be a millionaire." So, but lo and behold, about maybe a year, 2 years later, I became very, very sick. So sick, I had to get on disability, and I couldn't even walk for like, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years. And then I was walking with a cane off and on for till about 2007 or 8, maybe 9. And I was in bad shape, really bad shape, and uh, very depressed when I did get sick because I lost my business. I lost everything. Excuse me. Uh, and then I remembered that first chapter of that book is the number one um, asset you need. I think that's what he called it. The number one asset you needed to be a millionaire is to be healthy. Without health, it's very difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult. So anyway, how are you going to stay healthy in 2018? That's how am I going to do it? I'm more water intake, which sounds old fashioned, but good clean water is absolutely it's an imperative to good health. It's an absolute necessity to good health. Gives you more energy. You're able to think better. You can focus better on what you're doing. Your memory improves your memory. I'm just speaking from personal experience and from what I read. Um, so water is key. The way our foods are processed, and unless you're going to I'm going to basically do a vegetarian diet for the next month. A friend recommended that, so I'm going to take him up on it and do a vegetarian diet. Maybe have some fish with it, and get my weight down and control my blood pressure. But I have to do. I just can't wish it. I can't say, "Well, I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to get healthier." I actually have to do something. I have to make a plan and a goal to have that come to pass. Um, you just some people think that if you speak something into, like I command good health to come to me. Well, great, yeah, it does. That's a good biblical practice. But then at the same time, God told Israel, "Here's what you should eat, not eat." If you want to, in hindsight, it was God's way of keeping them healthy. And I guess because in the culture of that time, they would just eat anything. And so you have to have a plan, I mean, Jesus said, if you're going to build a house, you count the cost. And it's the same principle. If you're going to lose weight, if you're going to get healthier, if you're going to buy a new car, you got to count the cost. It just doesn't come for free. And you got to make a plan. How are you going to get a new car? How do you make enough money? If you don't make enough money, how can you make enough? How can you make more money? If your credit's the only thing stopping you, how can you repair your credit in order to, be able to get a car on credit? So, just practical things like that. You just can't make a resolution or a goal and then just think it's going to happen on its own. So, there's something called SMART goals. You can Google any You can Google, go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Google Books. They all, excuse me, they all have they all have books talking about how to set goals, SMART goals. And I forgot there's an acronym for it. Uh, SMART. It's got to be. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But it's got to be achievable. It's got to be practical. It's got to be, you got to have a timetable for it. And if you set a timetable, like say by this time next year, you want to save enough money to buy a new car or whatever, just a new wardrobe. Well, if you don't reach your goal exactly, there's no crime in that. If you want to save $500 for new clothes and all you save is $450, well, that's, don't feel like a failure. You pretty much achieved your goal. You could either wait till you get the 500 or just say, well, praise God, I got pretty close, and be happy with that. So anyway, that's all I want to share, and set some SMART goals. And if you don't achieve them all this year, kind of adjust it towards the end of the year or in the middle of the year, or kind of revisit your goals and see if you need to adjust something. And because life throws us curveballs, folks. Life isn't perfect. We can make goals, but there's going to be things thrown at us to try and stop us from reaching those goals. So, just when you make a resolution, can look at it as a goal. This year, 2018, my goal is, for me personally, to lose weight, to eat healthier, and quit eating after 6 p.m. So what do I have to do? I got to start shopping for better foods. I got to eat better foods, eat salads, eat fish, exercise more. And so I've already started all that, so it just doesn't automatically happen, though. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. You have a good one. And I'm going to see, this is the first time I've used YouTube live, so we're going to see if I can shut this off properly. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.